Hello, I am Yummy the Ferret, and welcome to the worst to the best Call of Duty World War II maps. That's right, I'm Yummy the Ferret, and here we are counting down the worst to the best maps. And welcome to Watch Mojo. Just kidding. We're doing more than 10. Was it 33 maps in the game we are ranking from the worst to the best? Let me say it one more time for you, just in case you didn't understand what we were doing. So, Call of Duty World War II, probably my most played Call of Duty game I can't even remember the last time I played a Call of Duty game every single day. Bought every single DLC and played it religiously since it came out. It's been a very, very long time. And the DLCs have been relatively good. There are a few maps, of course, as I will be stating, that are not very good, but for the most part, I really enjoy this game. All the DLC. No zombies maps included, but I did include the operation maps, because I do think that those technically are maps in the game. But the zombie stuff, I left out. I did add in all of these special free maps. If I missed a map, I'm terribly sorry, but I triple checked my work and I'm pretty sure I have every single map from DLC 1 to DLC 4 to special event maps to original maps. If they do add a map after this video, well, that's too bad. Looks like we'll be missing one. Alright, let's get it started off with what I believe is the worst map in Call of Duty World War II. And that map is Operation Husky. This map was a part of the United Front DLC. It features 3 different objectives. The first two objectives being relatively mundane, and the last objective being a plane a plane fight in the sky. A dogfight, as they would say. This map I always back out of a lobby when Operation Husky comes up. It's just a downright bad map. The opening it just doesn't hit like most of the other maps do in the game, especially the operations. Featuring the first stage is you have to collect documents. It's the first map to actually include trip mines, which can actually kill yourself if you were on the German team, which is annoying. There aren't as many buildables in the first area, which is fine. I just think the design of the first area is a little lopsided. Area number 2 is especially lopsided. You have to really work together with your teammates in order to get through the second part, which is sending off a message to the fighter planes to tell them where to bomb, So the second part is you have this small area you have to get a person into, and you have to just defend that area or attack that area. It is not a very fun map, especially when part 3 comes around and you hit the skies and you shoot people in planes. It's just not fun. It really isn't. And they did a whole dog fighting mode in the Days of Summer event, and I didn't even touch it. Not with a 10-foot pole. Next, coming in at number 32 is Dunkirk. Not the movie, Dunkirk the map. This map feels like 2 different maps combined, put together. You have the one side, which is just buildings, and then you have the other side with the beach. The beach is alright. I usually tend to stay around the beach. The tugboat in the middle is a nice thing to put in there, but I never have a good match on this map, and I think it's mainly because there are just too many places for people to camp, and too many places for people to just watch the entire map and shoot and snipe you off. There is a location where the C flag is. It's right next to the Stuart tank that's by the flag. Someone can lay down there and they can literally destroy your entire team if no one sees him right away. It's awful. Never really enjoyed this map since the beginning, since it came in with the War Machine DLC. Definitely not a map that I personally enjoy. Next up on the list is number 31, and that is Gustav Cannon. Now, this map wasn't originally a least favorite of mine, but now that I've moved away from sniping, it has definitely grown on me as a bad map. I think the main Gustav Cannon is just annoying. The person on the Gustav Cannon is protected by armor on the Gustav Cannon. So all you can see is their head, and if you're a crack shot, you can get them. But for the most part, they have an entire view of you. You're done. It's over. I feel like the map is way too open. There's not enough cover, which I think was designed on purpose. There are two ways on the left and right to flank, but for the most part, I just find this map irritating. It was good for prop hunt, but not for much else. Coming in at number 30 is USS Texas, and another original map. USS Texas kind of has the same problems Gustav Cannon. There's a lot of open ground to cover on the right and left sides. And people can sit in the backs and just shoot away, snipe away. The middle section is a cluster F. I've never really had fun on this map. Even in zombies mode, or infected, it just didn't work for me. I don't like the overall map layout. I think they were going for the old ship type map from Call of Duty, the original Call of Duty, but it just doesn't work. Next up is number 29, and that is Anthropoid. I can't say this one. This one came about in the Resistance DLC. I loathe this map. I think the design is utterly atrocious. You have this large trench separating the one building from the rest of the map, and it is so annoying on domination game modes and hardpoint game modes. People can camp in that building all they freaking want. It is annoying as hell. And either way you go, either the left or the right, there's a long alley on the one side, and there is just about the same on the other side. It's not a fun map. I never really had a good, fun experience on this map. I've gotten some good clips from it, just from people they're camping and you can kind of sneak up behind them. But other than that, Anthropoid is on the lower end of this list. Jesus Christ. Next is number 28, and that is the Sandbox map from the Days of Summer event. This map has a cool idea. Little army men in a big world. But it is just such a flawed map. It kind of has the same problem as Dunkirk. You have two lookout points that anyone can sit at and just kill you from anywhere they are. It has a lot of those areas where you look up and you can only see a person's feet, but they can see your entire body. There's just tons and tons of times where you're going up a hill and someone is at the top and they can see you fully, but you can't see them. I don't like this map at all. I barely see it anymore though. It even though it's in the normal map rotation, it doesn't come up nearly as much as as other people would probably like. But I just don't like this map at all. Next up, number 27 is Stalingrad from the United Front DLC. This map is just kind of weird. The whole middle section is a big question mark for me. You have whether on the left or right, there's one way that has an upper and a lower part and two areas to exit from. But on the other side, there's just a little alcove. And it just doesn't make sense to me to have that little alcove. They could have taken that out and the map would have been a little bit better. It is a sniper's dream. You can snipe in this map, which isn't a bad thing. And I don't like the underground section on the right and on the left. Kind of the same thing, like there's too many ways for people to flank you from. It does make for some interesting, gunfights. But other than that, I just don't like the overall gist of the map. Coming in, number 26 is Egypt from the War Machine DLC. Egypt was an interesting map, but I just don't like the layout once again. There's just too many ways to come from in that middle section where the B flag would be. You just have ways from everywhere, and it's tough to tell which way an enemy is going to come from, of course, in hardcore modes or any modes, really. You can drop down into the little bowl, which is really annoying, and people can just camp in that alcove in the zombies mode, the infected mode, which could get really annoyed too. All in all, I don't like this map. It is just not set up. It's not set up well. But I will say this, it does have a nice spawn aesthetic to it. I like the visuals on the map itself. Next up is Gibraltar, an original map on the game. I never really liked this map. I don't know why, but it's just an annoying map, and I just don't like it. It's a downright dirty map. Gibraltar, the B flag site is just such a clusterfuck. Grenades coming from every direction, enemies coming from any direction, and people just love to sit in that little camping spot in the tunnels. It's amazing. And for the infected mode, that is where everyone sits, and the zombies, good luck trying to win that one. Coming in at 24 is the HQ map from the Blitzkrieg event. HQ's kind of like a hit or miss. It's good for prop hunt, but it's not good for much else. I think it's funny that they included this map in the little event to do team deathmatch and stuff on, but nowadays it's just pretty much it cycles between gun game, prop hunt, and infected, I believe. I'm not sure though. Prop hunt is really the only one that is worth it on this map. The other ones, not too much. And it is just the basic layout of the HQ, nothing really too special. And it just didn't work for any other game mode besides from prop hunt. Coming in at number 23, shocking, it's Shipment 1944. And this one came around with the Shamrock and Awe event. I didn't like this decision to put Shipment in this game. There are plenty of other good maps from Call of Duty Modern Warfare that they could have mixed in. Shipment, I'm not sure that anyone was clamoring for. I will say this, I do have a lot of fun on this map, but it does also have its fair share of not fun matches. There are way too many ways to camp the spawns and get people stuck. If you're playing on a normal mode that's not hardcore, you'll have a lot of fun with the melee weapons. It's a melee wonderland. On hardcore though, this map can get very, very frustrating if it's not going your way. Coming in at number 22, it's V2. V2 has kind of grown on me since it came out with the War Machine DLC. It features that rocket in the middle that people can press the button on, and it's just, that is the most annoying section in the whole map. Everything around it is fine, but that one middle section where B is, you have the rocket, you have 3 different levels that people can go onto, and that includes the lower level, not including the tippy top. No one really goes up there if you're in a hardcore mode. But I find it so annoying when people are on that 3rd level and they're aiming down at you and they're shooting at you and you really can't do anything about it. V2 is a okay map, but it's definitely not one that I would prefer to play on. Coming in at number 21 is Grostenhaus, which originally was the prologue zombies map. This map came along in the Attack of the Undead event for infected, and it had its own playlist. And I found this map to be really fun to play different game modes on. Domination was fun, Team Deathmatch, and Infected is a really fun time on this map. Unfortunately, they've taken away everything except for the Infected map. There are a few things that I don't like about this map, like the house. No one really goes in there. I feel like they could have done something a little bit different with the main house. And there is not enough ways to get to the big, like, it kind of dips down, the road kind of dips down. There's not enough ways to get to that if you're a zombie, although it does work. I'm sad that they didn't keep this map in a regular rotation. And that's why it's this low on the list, because I don't really play it too much, because Infected is more of a like, oh, I need to play a few matches here and there. But you know, when it comes up, I enjoy it. You know, it's not like I don't. Next up, number 20, Operation Supercharge, and this came with the War Machine DLC. This map, this operation is like, the first two parts of it are really, really fun, and then the third part is just frustrating. There definitely is not enough cover for the flag raisers, and it's very easy for defenders to turn the tide of the map. This map was specifically designed for cavalry class, which is how you mainly win the round, is with the cavalry class covering the person who is raising the flag. But like I said, the first two parts are really, really fun. I like getting the supplies. I think the part of that map is really fun. It's a little bit open, but for the most part, I feel like it's equal for both sides. And then the second part where you're planting the explosives, I really, really have a fun time with that. And a lot of my montage clips from the last two montages have been from that map. And it's a really fun map to play around with and have fun on. But that ending point really just brings the map down. Next up is number 19, and we're kind of shifting towards more of my liked maps. We're not really in the middle yet, but we're getting close. And the next up is Aachen. And Aachen is a love-hate relationship for me. I feel like there's a lot of wasted space on this map, especially in the back for both spawns. And I feel like that whole middle section is a little bit too easy to get sniped in. I do enjoy the outside areas, the left and the right of this map. I feel like those are very well done, but it's that middle road section that I just don't find appealing. Next up is number 18, and this is Operation Breakout, and it's original map from the game. Once again, Operation Breakout was one of the beta maps, one of the beta outbreak maps. The only reason it's so low on the list is because it's just way too long for a war map. I think it has some good ideas in there. The initial assault on the house, planting the bomb that's kind of surrounded by cement, and then bringing your tank around town. I just think the bridge building part is very tedious. It's a sniper wonderland. Like, if you need long range kills, this is the place to go to get them. Normally this map is very, very one-sided. One team will definitely win outright. For the most part, it's okay. You know, it's not too good, it's not too bad. If it comes around the map rotation, I'll play it. Next up, number 17 is Excavation, and this is from the newest DLC, Shadow War. Excavation is a fun map. I really enjoy it, but it is a little bit too big, or it's a little bit too small for what they want you to do on this map. There's 3 different ways you can go: through the mine, or from the left and the right. I feel like it's a little bit too open on the left, and I feel like it's a little bit too chaotic with the upper and lower levels on the right. I think the map overall is a fun time, but it definitely is a middle of the road map for me. Next up is Carentan and Winter Carentan. They're kind of the same map, and Carentan was originally released with the Season Pass, but Winter Carentan, which is the one that I have, was released with the Winter event. And this map is the same as the regular Call of Duty map from Call of Duty 1, and I believe it was in 2 as well. And it's just a very fun, basic map. It's nothing special, nothing to write home about, but I do enjoy that they brought it back, and I really wish they had brought back more maps from the original game. Next up is number 15, and that is London Docks. London Docks is the first map that I fell in love with in the game. I felt like it had a very nice setup. Unfortunately, it's kind of lowered in the rankings as people find more ways to kind of goof the spawns a little bit. It's definitely best played in hard point mode. I really enjoyed playing it on hard point. The domination, though, I don't like how there's an entire one side of the map that has nothing going on with it, with flags and stuff like that, but people still run those areas pretty regularly. But all in all, I think it's a fine map. Next up is number 14, Market Garden from the United Front DLC. I really enjoy this map. It has that chateau feeling from the original Call of Duty. It's just a big house with a little bit of an outside on the left or right, depending on which side you're on. I think it's a pretty decent map. I don't like the bathroom area. There's this little bathroom area that I just have no clue why they put it in there. But for the most part, I do like this map. I do feel like going straight into it, there's this hallway that connects the spawn points pretty much. I feel like that could have been either avoided or changed a little bit. Next up, number 13 is Operation Neptune, an original map from the game. This is just D-Day. I don't like the beginning of this map. If the enemy has really good fortifications, they will destroy your team. And I don't really enjoy the radio destroying either. But I do like the ending of this map, which is why it's so high on the list, because the ending is just really, really fantastic. I love the layout of the land. I love assaulting the cannons. I felt like this was a good way to end the map. The opening of the map is okay, I just don't like the radio stuff. Next up is number 12, Valkyrie from the Resistance DLC. I like the layout of this map. There's a big bunker in the middle with a bunker in the back as well, which kind of loops around in an L shape to your spawn, whichever spawn you're at. I feel like the layout of this map is well done. I like the flag locations on this map, but there are some times where you can get spawn trapped, and it's a real pain in the butt to get out of it. Next up, number 11 is Operation Griffin, and this is probably my favorite original war map. You start off with a big assault by the Germans attacking American fortifications, and you try to get your tanks up to the front. It can be frustrating at times, but if you have a competent team, you should be able to get up there. The second task is to get gasoline, which I thought was a fantastic time, and then finally is the last assault to the bridge. I think this is a better version of Breakout, to be honest with you. There's a lot better things going on in this map than in the other ones. Next up, number 10, Sainte-Marie-du-Monde. I enjoy this map. It's a fun map. It's an original map in the game. The only thing I don't like about it is the buildings, like the inside of the buildings. There's 3 building insides that you can go into, and they just aren't laid out very well. I feel like it's a little tedious to get around them. Next up is Chancellery from the Shadow War DLC. This map is fantastic. I really enjoy the layout of the map. I think the B flag is in an interesting location that can be very, very hard to defend or attack, which can be frustrating. But for the most part, I feel like the layout of the map, where things are in the map, the spawn points, I think it's a fantastic map, and they did a really good job with it. Next up is number 8, Ardennes Forest, and this is an original map on the game. I enjoy this map. There's 3 different lanes you can go down, and they're all completely different. I think that the MGs on either side of the one-way was a little much, but I'll let it slide. Next up is Airship from the Shadow War DLC. This is number 7. This is my favorite map from the, well, I guess it's not my favorite map, but it's my favorite of the regular maps from the Shadow War DLC. I think the layout of this is excellent. They really showcased what they can do with the map structure. It reminds me of Summit from Black Ops, which was a fantastic map as well. I like the layout of it. It's not too much, it's not too little. I do think that the airship, though, you shouldn't have been able to go into the airship. I think that's a little OP. Next up is number 6, which is Operation Intercept from the Resistance DLC. This is a war map. I enjoy this map. I started out, I didn't really like it, but it's grown on me so much. Like, I've played it a lot. I think it's a fantastic map. It definitely has some great moments in it, and contrary to Operation Neptune, I really enjoyed destroying the radios in this one. I feel like there's enough of the light and heavy radios that it gives it a good challenge. And I also really enjoy the ending when the tank just rams the train off the tracks if you're on the American side. It's an enjoyable map. I do think the one thing I don't really enjoy about it is the part where you have to guide the tank forward. It just feels like too much like every other map. And hey, speaking of guiding a tank and feeling like every other map, we have Operation Arcane from the Shadow War DLC, and this is definitely by far the best war map the game has put out to date. I like all of the new things that they added to it, like the boost for the German side. For the American side, you kind of have to compensate by just really working together with your teammates. The only thing that bugs me about this, not only is the ending kind of just like every other war map where you guide a tank, but at the beginning there's 2 barricades you have to destroy, and you really only have to destroy 1 to get the tank moving and go into the next part. But I really do enjoy this game. There's a lot of, this map. There's a lot of new things that they did with it that really worked really well. And even though the ending is just another guide the tank mission, I think the layout of where you guide the tank through is fun. Next up, we're getting close to the end. It's number 4, and that's Monte Cassino. And this is from the United Front DLC, and this is probably my favorite one from the United Front DLC. It just has a really great layout to it. The only thing that I don't like about it are those sides where there's just like no edge, but people go around those sides all the time, and it can mess you up. But I really like the layout of it. I like where the map, the flag placements are on the map. I do feel like I do feel like there should be another flag like in the middle. I feel like some of these maps you need another flag on it because they're a little bit bigger. But I do enjoy the entire layout of this map, and it's a really fun map, and I hardly ever have a bad game on this map. Next up is number 3, and this is Occupation from the Resistance DLC. And yes, I know it's just a reskin of the Resistance map from Modern Warfare 3, but hell, it is a fantastic map. I love everything about Occupation, and the map definitely does not have many flaws to it. The only thing that I would say that I don't like about it is the staircase on the left side of the map, or I guess I really can't say that for this one, but the big staircase. I just don't like that part of the map, but everything else is just fantastic. I really, really love this map, and I'm so glad that they brought it back from Modern Warfare 3. Oh, we're getting close. There's only 2 maps left. Number 2, coming in number 2 is Flak Tower. My dog's ears there did the little drum roll. Flak Tower is an original map in the game. It's small, it's precise, and it's fantastic. I love running around on this map with a shotgun or with an SMG and just killing people. It's always a fun time on this map. I really enjoyed it. I hardly ever have a game where I'm mad or not liking how the game is going. It's just, I love it for all game modes. It's a well-rounded map, and it's just a little small. I think they could have probably made it a little bit bigger, which maybe would have given you a little bit more room to work. But other than that, it's a great map. And coming in at number 1 is Point du Hoc, an original map on the game. What can I say? This map, I just love it. Trench warfare, running through the trenches. You have 2 bunkers on each side. The domination points are perfect. The hard point stuff is fun. Team deathmatch is a great way to play on this map. And Infected is fun on it too, and Prop Hunt. I feel like this is the epitome of perfection for Call of Duty World War II maps, and maybe you won't agree with me. That's fine. This map is me, my map, my list. I just love this map. It kickstarted my love for shotguns in this game, and it also kickstarted my love for throwing Molotov cocktails. It's a really great map. It's a perfect size for what it is, and I really liked how different the parts of the map are. In the beginning, the one side of the map is the cliff side with the bunker, and in the middle is that trench warfare, nice tight-knit combat, and then on the ends, at the one end, is a farmhouse and a barn, and not too many people stay in those places, but I like how the map looks and how it feels going across it when you're running and gunning. So there you have it. That is my top my least to most favorited maps on Call of Duty World War II. It's been a good run. I love Call of Duty World War II, and it's going to go down in history as one of my favorite Call of Duties. Soon enough, I will make a favorite Call of Duty and least favorite Call of Duty list. But for now, the maps for World War II have ended. Hopefully, they don't add another one with an event down the road, because that would really screw up this list. But yeah, I'm bittersweet about the end of this one, because I know that once Black Ops 4 comes out, a good chunk of people will leave World War II, and I will be sad. And hopefully the game stays around, because I really, really enjoy this game. Call of Duty World War II is definitely a rise from the depths of Call of Duty hell. And I will probably be doing more videos about Call of Duty in the future. This was kind of a start, kind of seeing, testing the waters, because I haven't really made a video like this before, or in a long time. And I definitely enjoyed doing it, and hopefully I'll be back with another video like this. And if you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave that dislike. If you don't agree with my list, let me know how you feel. Let me know what's your favorite map on Call of Duty World War II. Or don't. I don't care. Just kidding. I do care. Okay, I do care. And hey, if you like this video and you like podcasts and stuff like that, check out the Ferret Business Podcast, and also check out the rest of the channel and press that subscribe button. Alright guys, thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next video.